Did you know that on September 5th of 1938 there was a attempted coup in Chile by Nazis? Like Chilean Nazis, they were called the Nacistas, and they weren't anti-Semitic, they weren't racist, but they were fascists that thought that what Hitler was doing was pretty cool, and they called themselves the Nacistas, and they were aiming for power. And on the morning of September 5th, they took over two buildings and they attempted a coup in favor of the presidential candidate Ibanez, and it failed. And the police took over the buildings. They took over one building and then they convinced the guys in the first building, there were about 60 of them, to talk the other guys out of the other building. And then the police were like, hey, what should we do about this? And the president at the time was like, whatever you think is necessary is the way the story goes. They'd promised them that they were going to de-escalate the coup, but then the police were kind of like, well, whatever we think is necessary with these 60 Chilean Nazis is not holding our bargain of de-escalation. And so they massacred them. Like 58 people were massacred that morning because of the coup, and it ended the Nazi movement in Chile at the time. Ibanez didn't see himself exactly as a Hitler figure. He liked Mussolini better. When you get into the fascists, then like the people idolizing the fascists kind of have favorites. But the coup and the way the coup ended up being handled shut down the Nazi party in Chile at the time. And Ibanez ends up coming into power like a couple decades later, but he's like a shapeshifty sort of guy. He's not really a fascist. He's really kind of a go where the wind goes sort of guy. And so when he comes into power, it's more of like a workers' party sort of thing and less of like a national socialist movement sort of thing. And we do see some of the after Germany 1945 Nazis coming down to Chile, although we see most of them going to Argentina and other places because there wasn't really a Nazi party, partially because of the absolute massacre of the Nazi party that happened on September 5th, 1938.